So I've taken a lot of MOOCs. I'm in the process of teaching a MOOC. I've done a lot in terms of online education. And one of the big issues right now is where MOOCs and universities stand in terms of course credit. And one of the debates is, should more MOOCs be offering college credit so that they can use it for transfer, so that students can take classes for free and then get credit for them at a university? There are arguments for and against this, but I'm going to argue that yes, MOOC should do this. And MOOC should do this because by offering credit, establishing credit, strengthens the quality of the classes, strengthens the quality of the MOOCs. And beyond that, universities can always reject the pressure that these MOOC providers are providing. So there's always going to be an opt-out. So let me return to this first idea of establishing credit can strengthen the quality of the MOOC. And in that, what I'm saying is that I'm talking overall quality of the MOOC. What is the MOOC doing for us as students, for us as universities, and for us as professors? Well, I think credit can really, by establishing credit, you can improve the rigor of the actual course itself. And by establishing credit standards, you can actually help reduce college costs. And so the overall quality of the MOOC for the class and for the users is improved if you attach credit to it. So in terms of strengthening and fostering rigor in the course, if there is credit associated with the course, and I say this from the perspective of a course designer, and you're looking at establishing things that can be graded, there is going to be an enhanced rigor to the design of that course overall. Certainly people who offer classes without grading can have very high standards, but I'm talking when we look at all the classes around, how can we foster the most rigor across the most courses? Credit standards will do this because you have to think more carefully about exams and the assessment of knowledge and teaching to the assessment of that knowledge, okay? As opposed to just offering advice. So credit standards and asking professors to think more about how this course would stand in for an actual college course will raise the bar for all MOOCs. And that will happen as a result of establishing credit standards, or at least making it a priority. Beyond that, having credit standards is huge to the users of MOOCs because it can reduce college costs. I don't need to tell anyone watching this video right now that college costs are going through the roof. That's certainly the case in the U.S., and we see this sort of having impacts on a global scale. Okay? Now, if a student can take a MOOC and get college credit for it, that is money that student has saved. Okay? And if it is transferable, it doesn't cost the university anything. Transfer credit is an established practice at all universities. Okay? And if the transfer credit is MOOC, that means that student has gotten that education, developed that resource base, gained that content knowledge, but done so without having to, lose out on meals or having to sacrifice some type of monetary issue. So MOOCs here, and when I speak about the quality of MOOCs, I'm talking about their quality as a course good and as a social good. And credit allows MOOCs to be far better and far stronger. Okay, so then I would move on to the second main point. But you can see in there, state it, explain it, prove it, conclude it. Okay? And I feel this sort of organic relationship to all of these various points. So what I want you to do now is you try this, okay? And go ahead and take the claims that I already worked up. So once again, you'll be arguing the second point here. So MOOC providers should pressure universities to offer university credit for MOOC classes. What I want you to do is argue this point. Universities can always reject the pressure and say, some colleges may continue to offer non-credit MOOCs. So pressure doesn't mean, threshold of demand. They don't have to do it. So some colleges may continue to do this, and other colleges may just opt out. And that might be regrettable, but an acceptable loss. Remember back to what we talked about in terms of standards of evidence, but this is what I want you to do. Now, as you're doing this, I have to admit, this is, in large matter, an issue of feel. Okay? I sometimes feel like in discussing claim and evidence, I've got two poles, or I've got two rubber bands here. And I've got my claim rubber band and I've got my support rubber band. I want to talk about the claim, but I want to make sure I'm not too far away from the support. So I go back and I talk about the support, but I don't want to be too far from the claim. So I'm trying to pull these two things together. Okay? It's this matter of feel, and you're going to want to be practicing it. But a lot of times when people run these impromptus or when they do speeches in general, and I give them an outline like this, they say, I don't know what to say. I don't know what I'm going to say anytime I do any one of these points, in the sense of I don't know what sentence is going to come out of my mouth 5 sentences from now. I hope it's bunny, because that would be nice. It sounds cute. But I don't know what it is. Anytime I'm discussing claim and evidence, I don't know what I'm going to say, but I do know what I need to accomplish. First, I got to make sure you know what I'm talking about. Then, I want to get you ready for the detail, get you ready for the evidence. Then I want to go through the detail so that you understand its relationship to the claim. But then I want to cap the point so it all fits together as a nice bite-sized chunk. So what I want you to do now is try running this exact point. Universities can always reject the pressure and do it with these two pieces of support. State it, explain it, prove it, conclude it.